Good morning. My name is Gopinath Reddy. Today we will discuss about Java second unit concepts. So the first concept in second unit is class fundamentals. What is class? So class is a group of objects which have common properties. So class is a group of objects which have common properties, or it is a template or blueprint from which we can create the objects. So to create a object, first we need to create a class. So next, class does not occupy the memory. So class does not occupy a memory. So class is a group of variables of different data types and group of the methods. That means the class contains different variables as well as the methods. So the syntax to create a class is, so this is the syntax to create a class. So to create a class, we use a keyword, class keyword. So by using a class keyword, we can declare the class. So the syntax for the class is class name, next type, data type, and variable name. Similarly, data type and variable name. So we can declare any number of instance variables. Similarly, we can write number of methods, type method name 1, so parameter list and body of the method. So this is the one method. Similarly, we can write another method name 2, parameter list, body of the method. So we can write any number of methods. So to create a class in Java, the syntax is, this is the one. So example, consider class name A, begin. Next, data types. We have the different data types. Int, instance variable 1 is the A. So A is the instance variable 1. Similarly, float B. So float is the type and instance variable 2 is the B. So here A and B are the two instance variable. So we are declaring two variables. Similarly, we can write any number of methods. For example, void. Void is the type, return type of the method. Method name addition. Method name is the addition. So we can pass either parameters. Next, we can write the body of the method. Similarly, we can write another method, void. Next, method name is the subtraction, and we can pass required parameters. Next, we can write the body of the method. Next, end of the class. So this is the how we can create a class in Java. So class name, instance variables, and methods. So this is the syntax for the how to create a class in Java. Here the variables are called instance variable. So the variables which are defined in the class are called instance variable. Next, the methods contain the code to perform some operations on the instance variable. So the instance variables and the methods which are in a class combinedly class as a class members or members of the class. So the variables and methods combinedly called as class members or members of the class. So this is the how we can create Java class. Next, after creating a class, we can create a objects. So in Java or in any object oriented programming, once we create a class, we can create any number of objects. So that's why class is a blueprint or template to create a objects. So what is object? So object is an entity that has state, behavior. So object is an entity that has a state and behavior. So example for the objects are chair, a bike, pen, table, car, a person. All these are the examples for the object. So any object in object oriented programming has the three characteristics. One characteristic is the state, second characteristic is the behavior, and third characteristic is the identity. So what is state? The state represents the attributes of the object. So states represents the attributes of the object. Next, the behavior represents the methods of an object. So the behavior represents the methods of an object. Identity represents the unique name to an object. So identity represents the unique name to the object. By using identity, we can interact one object with the another object. So by using identity, the objects can communicate each other. So for example, consider an object dog. So for this dog, the state represents the attributes. For the dog, the attributes are color, age, breed are the some of the attributes of the dog. Next, the behavior represents the methods of the object. The behavior of the dog object is it will sleep, eat and bark. These are the some behavior of the dog object. Next, the identity is the unique name to the object. The unique name is the name of the dog is the identity of the dog. So these are the object characteristics. So each object has the three characteristics: state, behavior and identity. So this is the object. Now how we can create a object in Java? So after creating a class, we can use the new keyword. We can use the new keyword to create the objects. So here the objects, that means whenever you use the new keyword, next the memory is allotted. Memory is the allotted to the objects. The syntax to create the object using the class is class name, reference variable equal to new keyword and the class name, or class name object name equal to new class name. For example, we create a class name is the student. So this is the class name. So after creating a class, we can create any number of objects for the student class. For that, student is the class name, S1 is the object name or reference variable equal to, we can use the new keyword to create the object, and this is the class name. So by using this syntax, we can create any number of objects. So we can create another object. For example, class name is the student, object name is S2 equal to new is the keyword to create the object and class name is the student. So in this way, we can create any number of objects for the student class. So this is the how we can create the objects in Java. So whenever we create a class, the memory is not allotted. When we create objects, then the memory is allotted. So for the objects. Now we can see the method. So class is a combination of variables and methods. Now what is method? How we can develop the methods in Java? So a method is a block of code that is used to perform a specific task. So a method is a set of instructions to perform a specific task is called a method. So we have the two types of methods. One is the user defined methods, second one is the standard library methods. So in Java we have the two types of methods: user defined methods, second one is the standard library methods. So user defined method means we can create our own methods. So we can create our own methods based on our requirements. So based on our requirement, we can create our own methods. Next one is the standard library methods. These are also called as the built-in methods. So we have the number of built-in methods in Java, so that are available to use. So user defined methods are based on our requirement, we can create our own methods. The standard library methods are the built-in methods. So which are the also called as predefined methods. So to create a user defined method, the syntax is, we can see the syntax how to create the user defined methods. So the syntax to create a user defined method is, the first one is the access specifier, next one is the static, next one is the return type, method name and parameter list, next body of the method. So to create a method in Java, the syntax is this one. Here we have the different access specifiers. We have the public access specifier, private access specifier and protected access specifiers. So we can use any one access specifier. For example, public is the access specifier. Next, static. So static is the optional. So when we use the static, that means no need to create a object to access the methods. So whenever when we not use the static keyword, that means to access this method we need to create the objects. Next, so no need to write a static. Next, return type. Return type is either void or integer, that means return type of the method. Next, method name is, for example, addition. Next, parameter list. We can pass any number of parameters, int a comma, int b comma, int c comma and so on. We can pass any number of parameters. Next, we can write the body of the method. So we can write any number of statements within the method. So this is the syntax to create the user defined methods. So we can see one example how we can create a methods in Java. So already I told what is access specifier. Access specifier is the access types, that is either public, private, protected and so on. What is the static? If we use the static keyword, it can be accessed without creating the object. So when we use the static keyword, no need to create the object. So without creating the object, we can access the methods. Similarly, the return type. The return type is the data type that the method returns. So we have the different data types, that is integer, float, double, or it will return the object or it will return the class. So if the method does not return anything, we use the void keyword. Next, which is the parameter list. Parameter 1 comma parameter, that means we can pass some arguments to the method. So these are the what are the keywords that are specified in the syntax of the method. So to write a methods, Java provide a naming convention. So to write a method in Java, so Java provide a naming convention. So the naming convention is, so the first step is while defining a method, so the method name must be a verb. The method name must be a verb and it will start with the lowercase letter. So while defining a method, so the starting letter of the method name is compulsory lowercase letter. So here the method names are single word method names or multiple word method names. So when we use the single word method name, the method name start with the lowercase letter. For example, sum is the method name. So this is the single word method name. So in this case, the starting letter of the method name is small letter. So this is the naming a method. So when we use the multi-word method name, in this case the first name must be a verb and the second name followed by is the adjective or noun. So when we use the multi-word method name, the starting word, the first letter of the each word must be uppercase letter except the first word. So in the first word we can use the small lowercase letter. After that, for each word we can use the uppercase letter. For example, area of circle is the method name. So this is the multi-word method name. So area is the one word, of is the other word, circle is the another word. So the rules are, the first word name, first letter is the lowercase letter. So that means area. So this is the first word. Next, the second word, first letter is in the form of capital letter. That means of. O is the capital letter, F is the small letter. For the next word, again, first letter is the capital letter, remaining letters are the small letters. So in this way we can provide names to the methods in Java. So in this way we can provide the names to the methods. Example, how we can write a methods. So for example, first class name. Next, directly we are writing a method. Void is the return type. Addition is the method name. Int A, int B are the parameter list. So here we are writing two statements as the body of the method. So here int sum equal to A plus B, we are printing the sum. So to access this method, we need to create a object. So for that we are creating a object. So to create a object, the syntax is class name, object name equal to new keyword class name. So already we discussed it. This is the syntax to create a object. So add ex1 is the class name, a is the object name, new is the keyword, and the class name is add ex1. So here we can create a object to access this method. So by using the object we can access the method using dot operator. So by using the dot operator, the methods can easily accessible. Example, a is the object name dot method name. So in this way the methods are accessed. So using the object name. So a dot addition 25 comma 15, these are the parameter list. Now the 25 value is passed to the a. So a equal to 25. The 15th value is passed to the b equal to 15. Now sum equal to a plus b, that means 25 plus 15, 40. So in the sum the value is the 40. Now we are printing that value. For to print the value we use the system.out.println sum equal to sum. So the output of this program is sum is colon, the value of the sum is 40. So this is the output for the program. So once we can create a class, we can create any number of objects. Now the object is accessed using the dot operator. So for example, we can create another object. Add ex1 equal 1 space object name is b equal to new add ex1. So here b is the another object. So by using the object we can access the method. So b dot addition, we can pass the parameters. So 30 comma 20. So then the 30 20 is passed to the a b values. We got the output is the 50. So the output for this one is sum is 50. So this is the how we can write a methods in Java, how we can access this methods. So this is the example for the methods. Next we can see the another example. for the methods. Here class name is the student. We are declaring the two instance variable. One is the int roll number, second one is the string name. So roll number and name are the class variables. Here we are writing two methods. One method is the insert method, second method is the display method. So we are writing the two methods, insert method and display method. So using insert method, we are providing values to the roll number and name. Using the display method, we can print the values of roll number and name. So we can write a main program, class student x main method. So we are creating objects for the student class. We are creating two objects, student s1 equal to new student. So s1 is the one object, student s2 equal to new student. So student s2 is the another object. So using objects, we can access the insert method as well as the display method. So for example, s1 dot insert. For the insert method, we are passing two parameters into our, so one is the int value, another one is the string value. That means int value is the 1 2 3 comma, string value is passed in the double quotes, sesi. So s1 dot insert 1 2 3 and sesi. So now the insert method was called. Next, the 1 2 3 value is passed to the r, so r equal to 1 2 3, and the string value sesi, so n equal to sesi. Now the r value 1 2 3 value is moved to the roll number. Now the roll number equal to 1 2 3 and name equal to n. N value is the sesi. So in this way we can pass the parameters to roll number and name using the insert method. So now we need to print the roll number value and the name value. For that we are already write the display method. So using display method, we can print the roll number and name. So by using the display, the output is roll number 1 2 3 space, next name is the sesi. So this is the output for. So for this example, we are passing the parameters are 246 Gopal. So by using the insert statement, we are passing r value is the 246 and n value is the Gopal. Now s1 dot display, we are calling the display method. So the output for this is 246 and Gopal. Next, for the second object, s2 dot insert 248 Ravi. So for the second object, we are passing 248 and Ravi. Next, s2 dot display, it will print the 248 and Ravi. So in this way we can create any number of methods. The methods are accessible using the object name. Next, standard library methods or predefined methods. So up to now we discussed about the user defined methods, how the user created his own methods based on his requirements. Now we can see the standard library methods or predefined methods. So Java provide number of Java class libraries. So in the libraries we have the predefined methods. So some of the examples of the predefined methods are length, equals, compared to, square root. These are the some of the examples of the predefined methods. For example, we are finding the max value and we are finding the square root value. So no need to write a max method and no need to write a square root method. Already the max method and the square root methods are the predefined methods in math library. So by using the math library, we can easily find out the max value and the square root value. So Java provides number of predefined methods. So these are the predefined methods. Next we can see the constructors. So what is constructor? So what is the constructor? So constructors are also same as the methods. So generally the methods are used to assign values to the instance variables. So here constructors are also used to initialize the instance variable. So the variables are assigned, the instance variables are assigned when we create a object. So whenever the object is created, automatically the instance variables are assigned to some values. So simply the constructor is used to initialize the object. So initialize the object means providing the values to the instance variable. So already we know the object is created using the new keyword. So whenever you create a object, at that time automatically the constructor is called. At least one constructor is called. So every time when we create an object using the new keyword, then automatically one constructor is called. Here we have different types of constructors. One is the default constructor, that is also called as the no argument constructor. Second one is the parameterized constructor. So we have some rules to define the constructor. We have some rules to define the constructor. The first rule is the constructor name must be same as the class name. So this is the first point. The constructor name must be same as the class name. The second point is the constructor must have no explicit return type. The constructor does not have the return type. The third one is the Java constructor cannot be abstract, static, final and synchronized. So these are some rules to define the constructor. The first rule is the constructor name is same as the class name. The second rule is the constructor does not have the return type. Third rule is the constructor cannot be abstract, static, final and synchronized. Now we can see the examples for the no default constructor. Second one is the parameterized constructor. The first one is the default constructor, that is the no argument constructor. So a constructor is called the default constructor when it does not have any parameters. So when it does not have any parameters, the constructor is called the default constructor. So the syntax of the default constructor is class name. First one is the class name and no parameters. Next one is the constructor body. So this is the constructor to create in Java. So we can see one example, class CONEX. Next we are taking two instance variable int A and B. So using constructor we can assign values to the A and B. For that we are writing a default constructor. So the constructor name is the same as the class name. Our class name is the CONEX. So therefore the constructor name is also the CONEX. Here we are writing the default constructor. So in this case no need to pass the parameters. So here we are providing A equal to 10, B equal to 20. So when we create a object, automatically this default constructor is called. Then the value of A is assigned to 10, the value of B is assigned to 20. So you can see example. So CONEX, we are creating the object new CONEX. When we create a object, automatically the default constructor is called. The default constructor was called. So whenever you call the default constructor, the values of A equal to 10, the value of B equal to 20. Now we can print the value of A and the value of B. So for this the value of A is 20 and the value of b is the 20. So the value of a is 10 is printed, the value of b is the 20 printed. So by using constructors we can assign values to the instance variable. Now parameterized constructor. So parameter constructor means we can pass some parameters to the constructor. So without passing the parameters, that constructor is called the default constructor. When we pass the parameters, then that constructor is called the parameterized constructor. So by using parameterized constructor, provide the different values to the different objects. Now we can see one example. Parameter constructor, class student, two instance variable, id or the one instance variable, name is the second instance variable. Now we are writing a parameterized constructor. Here class name is the student. So then the constructor name is also a student. Next we are passing the two parameters into I comma string n. So the I value is passed to the id, n value is passed to the name. So when we call this constructor, automatically I value is assigned to id, n value is assigned to the name. Next we are using a method to print the student id and the student name. The method name is the display. Now we are creating a student object. Student s1 equal to new student. We are passing the parameters 246 Gopal. So when we pass the parameters here, it automatically calls the parameterized constructor. Then the 246 is moved to the I value. Next n value is the Gopal. Now the I value is assigned to the id, n value is assigned to the name. So automatically the id value is the 246, name value is the Gopal. So by using the method, display method, we are printing the details about the id and name. So when we call the s1 dot display, it will print the id of the student, id of the name. So the output is 246 is the id, space, name is the Gopal. So this is the how we can access the, how we can call the parameterized constructor. Similarly, we are creating another object, student s2 equal to new student 248 Ravi Kumar. So we are passing the parameters, then it called the parameterized constructor. So the values are, id value is the 248 and the name value is the Ravi Kumar. So now we are printing these values using the display method, s2 dot display method. So when we call the display method, it will print the 248 space, name of the student is the Ravi Kumar. So using constructors, we can automatically assign the values to the objects. So these are the concept of the constructors. So today we are discussing about the classes, methods and the constructors. So these are the three topics. So tomorrow we can see the method overloading and constructor overloading concepts. Thank you.